Good Saturday morning. Did I mention that it is cold outside? We're sitting right now at 34, wind chill of 39. It was a little cooler than that when we first started earlier this morning. Do hope you're feeling good. You got a smile. I've had 2 cups. I think I need a third to continue on this day. Most of all, we're glad you're here with us. A lot of things have gone on over the last 24 hours that we will go over, let you know about. As we turn to a few of those stories, let's start with what went on last night. Yesterday afternoon, I got a text from Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun that there had been an arrest in Lauderdae County. Not sure if you've seen this or not. As we'll go here, this goes back to our webpage if you haven't visited there lately. Let's go over and take a look at this. As an arrest was made yesterday afternoon of a sexual battery. Now, if you'll look at this, it's sexual battery times 2, lustful touching of a towel times 3. You can click here, bond is set at $1.75 million there. You can see all of this here by double-clicking the arrest report. Check it out. That happened there in Lauderdae County. Austin Blake Clark has been charged. Again, you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. We'll find out more about that from as that progresses along. One of the big stories that we've got this morning. Another event that occurred, this was late yesterday afternoon. I'm not sure you've had a chance to read it at this point. This was over. Let's pull this up. We can see the headline at least of what I'm talking about here. Tractor Supply last night, a little after 6, before 6:30, 3 people would enter the store. It's the possibility that maybe something was almost shoplifted. We're not exactly sure what transpired between the 3 and the employee, but the employee was assaulted and the 3 fled. Before long, there would be a police pursuit. As they came, they identified the car as a white Jeep that fled the scene. The Meridian Police Department would get in behind this car on Royal Road. It would wind around and eventually go back to Mosby Road, where the car was stopped. An arrest was made of at least 1 person. It is believed by people that have sent me texts that they believe the other 2 ran on foot and were able to escape before police arrived. Well, it happens right here, an assault. That's bad. That's bad there. Let's see if I can refresh that. My comments was acting ugly over there. Wouldn't let me read that. Hopefully that'll come back up. But I had a lot of questions about what went on there near Tractor Supply last night. A lot of people saw the car there on Mosby Road, and that's what was going on. Now, kudos for the Meridian Police Department as they had to bring in the dogs to catch a suspect yesterday. They knew a location, a search warrant was executed, and they went in. They made an arrest yesterday of a possibility of this suspect from the Money Now location where money was taken, if y'all will remember that. Now, we had 2 robberies that day, one at the bank. This gentleman is not tied to that at this point. It is strictly the Money Now location that he is tied to. I'm understanding that some of the money may have been recovered when he was arrested. We hope to find out more about that from the Meridian Police Department as this investigation continues. That would be good. Always good to see the bad guys go away, isn't it? We had a traffic accident yesterday afternoon. This will be in the Clarkdale community. We have a lot of wrecks there about where the Dollar General is there at Mitcham Bottom Road. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you hadn't. Let's go here. I have to do a few things manually this morning. As we look at this, let's pull this up. This is the scene there. This is Mitcham Bottom Road as we come across and take a look at these. Let's make these pictures a little bit bigger for you. There sits the Dollar General, and across on this side will be the convenience store. That's a closer look at the wreck there at the intersection. Always hate when that happens, but that is one of those places like here in Meridian, as we well know, near Dairy Queen, Highway 39 there at North Hills, just prone to have wrecks. Be careful in that area. We hope no one was seriously hurt in that. We have excellent news from yesterday. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and call it 2 good newses. In each case, Good Samaritans came along and were able to help out in this. The first we want to talk about is this young lady that was missing. She was missing for, close to 48 hours. There was a lot of concern. There was a lot of prayers went up on this. Miss Myra was found yesterday afternoon. She was found, if I am not mistaken, within 2 blocks of her home in a parked car. She's okay. She was taken to be checked out by emergency officials. That is wonderful news. As the next stories, we posted this also, and we had another young lady that came up missing late Thursday night. This would be out near the Evangel Temple that came up missing. She would be found the next morning walking down the middle of Highway 45. A couple of people noticed it. Someone called 911. Emergency officials came to the rescue there, and she was also returned home unharmed. Thank goodness that wasn't at night and something more happened. So we've had 2 blessings in our community, and we really and truly can't say enough thanks, can we, for these kind of situations? We can't, because that is wonderful anytime that we can get somebody safely home. Don't you agree? I'm proud. I'm tickled. Let's see what else we've got going on. Now, we're going to dig deeper into this. I've already called and asked for an interview, a response. As maybe you've seen this, maybe you haven't. I'm going to repost this. I think a lot of people let this slide by. Let's pull this up. And do y'all remember a few months back, the grand jury at its conclusion said, well, something's wrong at the Meridian Police Department. People aren't being trained, and it comes from leadership. I want to say the police department was interviewed, and they said, no, everybody's getting training. But yet we have a second grand jury, and let's pull this up. Have you read this? This is on Sam Media, and this is a copy of it. We, the grand jury, reiterate that the last grand jury's recommendation that the leadership of the city of Meridian provide funding and additional resources to the Meridian Police Department. A critical need remains for additional training in the areas of case investigation, report writing, interviewing, and interrogation, collection and maintenance of evidence, and courtroom presentation. It is also recommended that Meridian Police Department provide their officers and detectives with functional body cams being worn and cameras in their police vehicles, as well as adequate storage for video footage. I'm hearing that this is quite the problem. Now, again, let me remind you, that's 2 grand juries in a row that have said this. Why? Well, as you go here and you pull the rest of this up, and I urge you to look at this. Serious here. Now, I know some officials will get mad at me for pointing out the truth, but the truth is the truth. The police officers go to the trouble of arresting. Maybe they're not trained. Maybe they don't know the right thing to do. But look back at this. As you will notice here, now I haven't spoken to officials. I'm going to find out on Monday. Right here in this top line, that bottom line right there, 19 no true bills. Now that basically tells us that for whatever reason, and we don't know, and I will get into this next week, 19 cases were, well, thrown out. Let go. Not enough evidence. Not enough. What was it? Let's find out about that. I got a list of names and cases here that I've got, well, I want answers to. Because you deserve it. Taxpayers pay for all of this. We asked Jimmy to look into this. Who's at fault? Who's not doing what? Let's fix the problem. People pay good tax dollars here. And all they ask is that their streets be paved. It's safe to walk home, go to church, go shopping if they like. I don't think that's too much to ask to y'all. I didn't think so. But that's what's happening in our community. Pay attention to these. And again, we're not going to let this go. We will get back into this next week when offices are open. Everything will be closed on Monday. We've got a holiday coming up. Don't forget about that. We had a wreck yesterday. This is pretty serious, as it was real close to where I lived growing up. Scuba, Mississippi, just north of there, 22 miles from there, is a little town called Macon, Mississippi. If you don't know much about Macon, it has a lot of history. It's a beautiful town. One of the highest educated cities before the Civil War. Truly. There was a lot of money there. It was a well-to-do town. And it's got such beauty as you drive down the streets of Macon, Mississippi. We had a bad auto wreck there yesterday. I say auto, it was an 18-wheeler. As we look at this, let's pull this up. This was on Highway 14 just west of town if you were headed toward Louisville, and it happened near Fire Tower Road is where the accident happened, right here. Here's sets Macon. This is Highway 14. This is the intersection of Fire Tower Road. This was a single vehicle accident with a log truck. I want you to look at this. There's the cab of the truck, and that's the Macon Volunteer Fire Department trying to cut this gentleman out. He was airlifted, from what I understand, from the wreck to Jackson, Mississippi. And that's serious. All those logs come in on him. The jaws of life being used there. Let us pray for him as he was airlifted to there. We certainly hope he's going to be okay. That's the details we have at this point on that wreck. Some subjects are touchy. There's no other way to word this. But as we look across the state and things that are happening in our great state of Mississippi, a Biloxi man has been arrested. Why? He was exposing himself to teenage girls. What would make a man want to do that? Well, I can't tell you. They found him a few blocks away sitting in his truck. He was arrested. He'll face a judge before long. Biloxi is where that went on. Deputies responded this week to Lowndes County, which is North Mississippi above here, Columbus Air Force Base. This has happened all too often across the United States. Threats came in to 3 different schools. They ended up being false, and the phone calls were made from out of state. But you have to take every phone call as if it were the truth because, well, we all know the world that we live in now. Deputies didn't find anything, thank goodness. Hopefully, they'll be able to trace those down to wherever that phone call came from and make an arrest of someone. We certainly hope so. I've often said this, and I'll say this about our sponsors that we've got on our show. You see their logos at the bottom of our screen. They're people that I know. They're good people. They work, they live, they go to church with you right here in Lauderdale County. There's nothing better than word of mouth of having a trusted person take care of what you do. Whatever the services you need, from carpet cleaning, maybe you need trees cut, whatever it is, use somebody that you know. And trust me on this, the people that sponsor our show I've known for a long, long time, or either my salesman has known them. They're part of our community. And I bring this story up because of embezzlement charges in Pass Christian, Mississippi. Well, what does that have to do with us? Well, it could be simple. Say that you have a problem with your car. It gets hit. It gets dinged up. And you take it to a body shop to be fixed. Well, you expect that to be done in a timely manner. Chet advertises with us. Great guy. I've known him all my life. I know him. These people in Pass Christian took their car to be fixed, and, well, 2 to 3 weeks later, the guy that owns the car gets a call from the police. Said, we just made a traffic stop with your car. Had some drug paraphernalia in it, some other things. They ran a red light. Turns out where he took his car to be repaired, they were using it for their own. Yeah. Way down there, he's been arrested, and I'm not quite sure how the charges work, but they're going to charge him with embezzlement, some type way of using the car for himself when it wasn't his. And again, I don't quite understand the law on that, but that's the charge. That's what happened. Just always, even when it comes to storm repair, we all know how people try to take advantage of you. Use someone, a trusted name. It will save you money in the long run. And that's just a true testament. There are a lot of great people in our community and where you are in your part of the world. Ask somebody. If you see them on here, they're good folks. We do see that over in Vicksburg, and I'm going to say this, Debbie made fun of me Friday because I couldn't get it out. There's certain words that I can't say, and this is one of them. As we all know, downtown Meridian is covered with paintings of people. You know, the Jimmy Rogers one. I'm doing my best not to say the word, and I'm just going to have to say it. They're near completion in Vicksburg. All right, here it comes. I can't do it. It's the painting where they write Vicksburg across it. For the life, I've really tried. I just cannot pronounce that word. Yeah, I need to hush because I cannot say it. And I'll sit here and stutter for the next 30 minutes. But that's one that I just truly cannot say. I've tried. But they're near completion of that M word over in Vicksburg. And I'm going to leave it at that because it just ain't happening for me. I've tried and I've tried. Let's see if I can refresh that again over there. For whatever reason, my comments are being messed up. I've had some issues this morning, as always. We just about got everything fixed. Let's see what else we've got happening. Conehatta man has been sentenced. Have you known about this? 12 and a half years he'll head off to the prison. This deals with aggravated assault on another man. Documents said that Austin Anders, 36 of Conehatta, used a handgun to shoot another person multiple times at a tribal home in the Conehatta community. 12 and a half years for assault. Don't need to be doing that, do we? They had an issue in Hinds County. This is north of, well, actually west of us, the Jackson, Mississippi area, to where the departments weren't communicating. The DA, the Sheriff's Department, it wasn't the public one, but it was the inner office that wasn't interacting. Slowed the process down of maybe somebody getting booked out of jail. Nothing was compromised, and they don't know why it happened. They're working on it. We're still in shock, I think, as we look at a few of these national headlines this morning. Lisa Marie Presley, she will be buried next to her son at Graceland, who is in the same cemetery there as Elvis. How sad that was. But again, and I made the statement yesterday, I did not realize what she looked like. She had definitely, what's the word? Her last few days on this earth, she looked troubled. Not sure what was wrong at all. Whew, Hattiesburg. As we were talking about where you get your work done and people you trust, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, we go there to where tax preparers. There's 2 employees that's been arrested down there. They've been, making tax returns that were fraud. 34 counts. They've been arrested. We'll see what becomes of it. Did you see yesterday where, and this is young, 60, Evel Knievel, one of the heroes of when I was a child, jumped everything. That man had nerve like no one else I've ever seen. I think every bone in his body was broke at least 6 times. He was tough. His son passed away yesterday, Robbie Knievel. I didn't realize that he'd been battling a fight with cancer for quite some time. He has passed away. We send condolences to the family. We see this morning that a single ticket holder has won the money, $1.35 billion. It was sold in the state of Maine. Somebody's happy today. Congratulations to them. That's a lot of money. As we go across, let's see here. I don't know what to say about this. It disturbs me. Maybe you feel the same way I do. Maybe you don't. I was a child of the 70s. I was born in 69. I came along, and one of the greatest things that I enjoyed was Saturday morning. I got to get up and watch cartoons. Well, I had a favorite. I don't know about you who yours was, but Scooby-Doo was my favorite comic. Got to watch those cartoons on Saturday morning. It was only for a little time, if you'll remember. What happens when they take something that was so wholesome and turn it into something more? Oh, yeah, this has happened as they've turned a Scooby-Doo reboot into an adult-themed TV show. Oh, I'm not kidding you one bit. Who cared who Velma may have dated? Wasn't a part of the show. Who could care less? But no, they're going to change that as HBO Max just released it. It's a spinoff of the popular running TV show. In this one, it's being managed as an adult, and it features limbs being severed. One of the main characters goes to a strip club with her dad. And 2 teenage boys are seen making out in a high school. That's the new Scooby-Doo movie. And, of course, as I mentioned, Velma, and I could go on. What is America thinking? I truly do not know. This one, that totally shocks me of what's going on there. Y'all pray for America. We certainly need it at this point, I believe. Only one thing can help us, and we all know what that is. Old fella named Jesus Christ. And I do hope he does help us one day. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. But come on over, try it sometime. Might help you out there. All right, as I'm missing a few buttons this morning, I've got to get some things repaired. Our forecast being brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Let's get in and take a look about what the weather is going to do today. Let me hit another button here. I had something go a little bit off for me a minute ago. And let me pull this up. Let's talk about this. That's what's happening today. As we go back, I can't do that, can I? I got to go over here. As we look at our record highs and record lows, it was 1937. We had a high of 78 today. The low, not that many, it was 2011. Oh, my heavens, where is time going? It was 15 degrees on this date back in 11. I'll leave it at that. Sunshine expected today, a high of 51 as we go across to Eupora, 48, Columbus Air Force Base, 46. Over at the Big River, it's 51, and down to Natchez, it'll be 53 if you follow that riverbed. As we go east into Alabama, 45 today only there in Birmingham. Cool in Tuscaloosa at 48, and we're looking at 49 in the big city of Livingston, Alabama also. As we look ahead, y'all be prepared. It is coming once again. We're looking at Wednesday for severe weather. Now, this is most likely to change as you'll see this. Philadelphia, Kosciuszko, our friends in Louisville and Macon already under a Category 2 for severe weather. The Meridian area, including everything south of Philadelphia and Kemper County, is a level 1 at this point. This can easily push, because we're so many days out, to a level 2. As we saw tornadoes pop up yesterday on that Mississippi line moving into Alabama, take this very serious. We will be here to walk you through this as this gets near us next week. It's potential for severe weather. We'll be all over this. I'll monitor the weather for you and let you know as this nears us to give you a heads up on it. Always seek shelter should a warning be issued for your area. Again, we'll be here. We'll tell you all about it as it gets closer. Let's get into what is happening with temperatures. Whoa, still hot in Mississippi. Well, it's 50 today, but today's our only one day. We do see that western Texas starting to get a cold front from California, making its way toward them. Hopefully that'll arrive for us. Let's go ahead and look at your 7-day forecast brought to you by our good friends at Steele Wilson. As we look at this, we show that at Wilson Outdoor, 50 degrees today for the high. We'll warm back up to 50 tomorrow. But look at that temperature when you wake up in the morning. 28 as you head off to church. It'll be cold. By Monday, we're back to 66 on Martin Luther King Day, Robert E. Lee Day. 66. It'll be getting warmer. And Parade downtown Meridian kicking off at 12. We have Tuesday, 72. We're up to 73 by Wednesday with rain showers and the possibility of severe weather right here. Remember that. Thursday rolls in with 68 and 63 by Friday. As we go right ahead into the rest of the month, it's not cold at all, but we do have a lot of rain chances between now and the end of the month. All the way through the 28th, we're sitting at either 60 to 58 degrees. That's not bad. I don't think any of us complain about those temperatures. We won't. What's going on with the fishing today? Well, the best time will be late this afternoon. It'll be 5:47, right there at dark. Woo! You can try it today at lunch. Minor time there at 11 o'clock. Cool to be fishing. As we look at our deer hunting calendar brought to you by Collinsville Meats, we'll see that our first major time was this morning going on through about 9 o'clock, about 15 minutes remaining on that. The next major time will be after dark. You got a chance there of a minor hunt during middays. Go ahead and try it late this afternoon. The wind's going to be northwest, 5 to 10, becoming light in the afternoon. It's just not much time left deer hunt. So get it while you can. Good luck to everybody. We'll have another winning coming up next week with Jay's Taxidermy from the big drawing that happens there. Make sure to check that out. Let's go back and take a look at radar this morning. We haven't had a chance to look at that to show you what's going on in and around the area. Let me pull here. And I'm just going to have to use this one to pull it up. Here's what we've got with the weather today. It's all clear across the state of Mississippi, Alabama. We have some cold fronts down here in Florida, but boy, look at this, nice weather. South Carolina's got a few showers, and we got some snow up in the Knoxville area as you go through Charleston, West Virginia. Always a little something like that happening in West Virginia, but all is clear. I'd like to say thank you for each of you dropping by this morning and spending a little time with us. We appreciate that. And as always, we'll be here behind the scenes to follow everything, to let you know what's happening. As it happens, we report it. We give it to you the best that we know how and as quickly as we can. Don't forget, Monday morning we're at a new time. The morning show moves to 7 a.m. After, I guess it's been 12 years now. Time has flown. A decade has gone by that Debbie and I have worked together. She's coming back to rejoin me on Monday. It'll be like the old times. We'll reminisce. We'll have a great time. And I hope you'll be a part of our show as it Fox 30 begins at 7 a.m. each weekday. Join us. Be a part of the show. And we appreciate you so much. As always, we'll be back should it be necessary. God bless, and we'll see you soon here at the Scotty Ray Report. Such a great day. I was looking. I got a button missing, and it's just there's no way to find that. So, here we go. See you Monday. Thanks so much.
Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: